What's up, everybody? It's the Roundtable Sports Podcast. Today, we're taking a look back at the top 50 plays from Nick Chubb in the 2020 season with the Cleveland Browns. Nick was extremely nasty this year when he was in the game. He was running hard for the Cleveland Browns, and at 5'11", 227, he runs like he's much bigger. He feels like he's heavier in a great way to me because he runs with a lot of strength. You can tell with the way guys are approaching him that once they've gotten a taste of him in open field or trying to tackle him really at all, they don't really typically want to try and do that again, especially when they get caught on the track when the Nick train is coming through. That's when business decisions tend to get made after something like that happens to one of the defenders, or if they try to get him and really load up on him and then he shifts out of the way with one of his amazing jump cuts. That also really frustrates defenders for Nick Chubb. Much like Derrick Henry, it does take Nick a little bit of runway to get going to top speed. Once he reaches that speed, you can see that he's able to reach the edge. He's able to take it to the house. He has enough requisite speed to, take angles that make defenders, really question where they were actually going in the first place when they're looking at Nick Chubb, because I think it doesn't quite make sense visually just how fast this huge guy is moving at you. And then, of course, he's bringing all this force behind him when he's coming at you as a defender. I think that defenders constantly, misjudge where they should angle up and try to get to him when he's moving around like he's able to do. And if Nick wasn't shifty like he is, I think the size and speed alone would be pretty impressive, but that's not the most impressive thing about Nick at all. It's really the shiftiness that he brings with those other two things. He's got quick, nimble feet and tree trunk legs that are always churning and moving forward. The feet and the moves that they create, leave defenders flat-footed a lot of the time, especially when they're trying to load up to really bring the load against Nick Chubb, because they know that they're really going to have to bring as much power as they possibly can to bring him down. And then Nick's able to shift and he's able to churn, or he just outruns them to a certain spot because they are flat-footed and they are trying to really gear up for him. And of course, there is a lot of shifting, there is a lot of moving, and the impressive thing for me with all that is, yes, the jump cuts, the spins, all the different things he does are devastating and really nimble for a guy of his size. But it's also that he does all of those things while moving extremely downhill and carrying his momentum forward. That's big for a guy like that. If he was stopping down and really not able to keep the momentum going, I think more defenders would get to him and he wouldn't be able to break as many long runs as he's able to at this point, because it is all downhill. No matter what you see there, he's shifting. He might stop a little bit there, but the momentum is still carrying him forward in a way that allows him to hit the hole and allows him to keep moving, so that when somebody approaches him with an arm tackle or something along those lines, he's able to fight through it and continue to get yards. One thing I noticed with Nick throughout this video is his vision. You can see that he finds cutbacks with a good amount of ease, and the offense has absolutely set him up to do that, but it still takes a running back taking those holes and being able to find them for an offense like this to be successful. And much like Dalvin Cook with the Vikings and Kevin Stefanski then, Nick Chubb has also found a way to use those stretch plays and to use those cuts to make big plays for his team. Absolutely. I mean, as you can see there, there's just nobody on the backside. There's so much flow to try and stop his momentum going that way that he's able to cut it up and really get those yards easily, rather than having to run into the back of the offensive line if he went where the play was actually intended to go. But that's how the scheme works, is you're able to cut it up, and a running back with vision is able to take advantage of that. And both Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both have that vision and benefit from the line and everything that the Browns have really put together on offense to this point. Now, he had the MCL sprain. Nobody liked that, but he came back in less time than I would have expected, and he came back strong when he did come back. They gave him solid running back loads for a team that has two really good running backs, and he thrived in that, especially when he's beating down the defense and they get more and more tired of tackling him. That's a big part of the Cleveland attack overall, and it's a big way that they win games at this point. So count me bullish on Nick Chubb for this upcoming season. He's in a contract year, so the Browns are going to have to figure out what they're going to do there. They already have Kareem Hunt signed up for a couple of years, so they have some options, but I hope to see the Browns commit to Nick Chubb at some point because, as you can see here, when he's running good, the Browns are running good, and it makes for extremely entertaining and watchable and contender-worthy football when they're going right. So I'm on board. Let's see what they do with Nick Chubb this year and what they can bring together with the investments they've made in the O-line and everything. Giddy up.